It's a secret society. All they ask is trust. Blessings, people. I'm Magnetic Intuition. I hope all is well. I hope you're blessed. I hope you're feeling good. Hope you're staying healthy. If it ain't cold in your region, hey, salute to you, right? Well, we out here in nature as usual. And I definitely wanted to touch on this topic. Now, in the past, I talked about marijuana, right? And how I used to be a user of it, and how satanic cults were pretty much putting witchcraft in my marijuana, right? Now, I want to go a little more in detail on another issue that I used to have, right? Alcohol, right? So let's talk about it, right? So, I first started drinking alcohol when I was 18, right? I first was in college. I was hanging out with so-called homie, fake friend, Freemason, right? That was pretty much setting me up the whole time and I didn't even know it, right? So we go to the club one night, and this is my first time drinking, so I'm taking shots. You feel me? He like, come on, just begging me to drink. So I'm like, all right, cool. And let me say this before I move on. I take responsibility for whatever I've done. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when you agree to something, you know what I'm saying, you're still taking part of it. That's still your choice. So I take responsibility for that. You understand? All right, so now let's get back to it. So, anyone that knows me knows that growing up, I was shy, I was laid back, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't the most talkative person in the world. I was quiet, you know? If I knew you, we talk, you know? But for the most part, I was quiet. So, I realized something with alcohol when I got into drinking alcohol and going to the parties and stuff, getting drunk. It was much easier for me to just wild out, right? And be whatever I want to be, right? And of course, during that time, we always enjoyed talking to the women, right? I mean, what other reason do men go to the club for, right? Unless you're married or you have a girlfriend, and it is what it is. You have your own reasons, right? But more or less, it definitely had a big effect on me talking to women, right? So we used to have contests. I mean, like it was like silent contests, right? And we had our goals were basically to get as many numbers as possible, right? I know some of y'all been through that, you know. So we did it. That's what we did, right? 10 numbers, 5 numbers, 15 numbers, 20 numbers, whatever it may be for that night, right? So alcohol definitely opened that up for me, right? And it became something I would do, but it was only something that I basically did when I went out, right? So I used to drink maybe 2 times a weekend, right? But during those 2 times, I was binge drinking, basically saying that I was drinking constantly, right? Like on those nights, right? So, which is one of the most unhealthy, dangerous things you could do, right? Is binge drink, right? Because you're not supposed to consume alcohol like that. You understand what I'm saying? That's like the worst way to drink. Just constantly taking drinks, right? So this occurred, I want to say for over, if I could guess, from like 18 to like 30. Around that age, I want to say this occurred. So, man, we had fun out there. I ain't gonna front. Like dealing with alcohol, man. It was like life changing in good and bad ways. You understand what I'm saying? But of course, there's always a catch to everything, right? What does alcohol do to your liver, right? It basically destroys it, right? So let me explain this. When I decided to change my diet and focusing on, going to vegetarian, I did a detox, a full body detox. And that consisted of raw foods, only vegetables, fruits, nuts and seeds for 20 days, right? And with that being said, it was tough. You understand what I'm saying? Literally on the third day, I threw up. And that's after I took the liver formula, right? Because you have 7 different formulas. You have the liver formula, you have the blood formula, you have the colon formula, you have the cardiovascular formula, you have I think I said blood already, the lungs formula, and the bladder formula, and I think the kidneys, right? So it's like 7 of them. And when I took the liver formula, I threw up. So that let me know right then and there that there was some issues going on. You understand what I'm saying? So I was gonna quit. That was after like the second day, and I had 18 days left. I was just throwing up for like a whole hour straight. And I was like, nah. At the time I had a girlfriend, and she was doing it with me, and I was like, nah, you know what? Let me keep going, because it ain't gonna be cool to quit and, and not keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that this is gonna be best for my life, my lifestyle. So I got through the detox, 20-day detox, and I still continued to drink, but not a high rate. Then I went from hard alcohol to wine, and I was still drinking hard. You feel me? Just those 2 days out the week, whenever I went out to a bar or a club or a lounge, I'll drink. So that's like two days a week at least during the weekend, right? Friday, Saturday, right? So yeah, it's very important for you to understand another thing. Probably the most important thing is the fact that when you're drinking alcohol, you're basically putting like this like devil worshiping entities in your body. You understand? In Muslim countries, there's Muslim countries out there that don't even allow alcohol, like Saudi Arabia, for instance. And there's a reason for that, right? There's a reason for that. That has that devil spirit in it, right? And what you'll notice is when you drink, you'll notice that you'll do things that you wouldn't do when you're sober, obviously, right? And in all honesty, it brings the devil out of you. Let's keep it real. And I'm not trying to knock anyone that drinks, right? If you conservatively drink, hey, it is what it is. We're all adults, right? We do what we do. I'm just giving you my story and the effects of alcohol, right? And my experience with it, right? So I think more or less we have to just look within ourselves, right? And decide what's really important, right? We have to really decide that, right? Because I'm telling you that alcohol is full of devil experiences. It's not good for us. And even me, when I was drinking it, I knew that. But now, of course, it's on a bigger scale, right? So I just wanted to pass that through, right? Get that message out there about alcohol I could go like an hour talking about it, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep it short and simple. So take what you got out of that, and stay blessed. People stay motivated. I'm Magnetic Intuition. I'll